Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back once again. You know, folks, down the years I've watched so much great programming on television, and you got U.S. election, Canadian election, so much crazy stuff going on now in the world. But now we're going to talk about something that's really dear to my heart, and it's professional wrestling. I'm alongside my co-commentator, Greg Campos, and he's going to steal the show, giving a few memories and a few thoughts on some of the great moments in, all of wrestling history. Down the years, I guess growing up, Greg, in the 80s, that'd be something special, man. Hey?
Oh yeah, wrestling, it was very special and dear to my heart. I always wanted to be a wrestler, and it never panned out, but I still today remember the highlights when I was very young. When I was, say, about 8 years old, they had the first WrestleMania, and that was the biggest show on earth, and the most popular wrestler at the time was Hulk Hogan. And if you remember Hulk Hogan, what he'd always say, "Hey brother, what are you looking at, brother? Don't you see what I got? 24-inch pythons." Oh. Well, anyway, he was my favorite wrestler. He did some movies, and now he's hosting American Gladiators. But yeah, he really put on a show. And I also, I think one of my favorite WrestleManias was, WrestleMania 2, where Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant. Man, that was amazing. He actually picked him up and slammed. He tried 2 times, but the second time he actually did it. Man, it's amazing what steroids can do for you. Because at that time, all the wrestlers were taking steroids, even Hulk Hogan, and now they don't. Now you see the wrestlers nowadays; they're all fit, but they're not that huge. Anyway, what's one of the classic wrestling events you remember, Mark, from the past?
Okay, for me, Greg. Well, I remember in recent times was War Games in 1998. War Games when Bill Goldberg made his. Actually, it was 1997 War Games when Bill Goldberg made his debut in WCW. It was unbelievable. The fans, the media, like the wrestling media, I guess you would say, but it was unbelievable. The fans, the commentators, they're just like, "Who is this? A former NFL player taking out everybody?" He had a streak of 100-0, Greg. 100-0. And then, you know the guy that beat him first? Kevin Nash. Big Sexy, the Diesel / Kevin Nash. Mr. NWO, Wolfpack. He gave Goldberg a jackknife powerbomb in 2000 at Slamboree, and it was pretty awesome. It was for a title. Nash became the world heavyweight champion after that match. I can remember it. I saw the tape. I never did see it live, but I watched the clips and stuff on the program in Nitro. I remember the Monday night wars between the WWF and WCW. Can you remember any classic moments in those times, Greg?
Oh, I think the classic moments in wrestling were the best. They were always very memorable. My favorite wrestlers from the past were Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember that. He was a good haircut.
Another one I used to like is Macho Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah! And the other one, do you remember that guy, Hercules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was huge.
Oh, he was huge. And then Don Morocco.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He was
and of course, Jimmy Fly Snuka.
Yeah. He just jumped from the top ropes.
No. Anyway, and Jake the Snake Roberts, of course.
He had like a real python around his neck?
Yeah, he had the real python around his neck. Yeah, I don't know. I think the wrestling from the past was more memorable to me because I grew up with it. And now I really don't watch much wrestling. I really watch MMA. But still, when I watch the wrestling shows, I still remember the past shows, and I found the characters were more entertaining from the past than they are now.
Yeah, they don't build them like these.
Well, the thing is that from the past, the guys were bigger, and they had, I don't know, they had more charisma and a better character. Now it seems like it's all like a soap opera, like phony, like the wrestling, yeah. But, yeah.
Hey, look at John Cena there, Greg. I mean, he's another up-and-coming star.
Oh, he does a great show, John Cena. And who was another guy not too long ago, but got out of the WWE was The Rock.
Rock, yeah.
Dwayne Johnson. Oh, he did an excellent show. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah. I remember that, man.
And then Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You know what, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he was the highest paid wrestler in that time. He made $5 million a year.
Well, if I made $5 million a year, I'll drink a lot of beer too. Anyway, back to you, Mark.
Yeah, I tell you right now, Greg. I mean, down the years, you can watch all the WrestleManias, all the Slamborees, or Starcades, or even nowadays I watch TNA. You got Kurt Angle, former WWE superstar. You got Booker T, former WWE, WCW, 6-time WCW champion, or 5-time WCW champion, 1-time WWE champion, whatever you want to say, slice it up, doesn't matter. But Booker T, for me, he's just a great wrestler. And so is Kurt Angle. And for me, my all-time favorite is Sting. Sting and Bret Hart, for me, are two of the greatest wrestlers in the history of the company. Don't forget about Ric Flair. He brings so much to wrestling. He's retired, but there's rumors that he might be going to TNA too. And guess who I saw at TNA, the last TNA episode there, Greg? Guess who? Mick Foley, the hardcore legend. That's on.
Wrestling there?
Well, he's not wrestling right now. He went on camera and he talked.
Sign a contract?
Yeah, he signed a contract, so he's there. So he might wrestle. Well, I don't know when, but he actually went on TV and he said hello to Mr. Kurt Angle. So, it's just good to see. He got out of his WWE. He's just getting sick of Vince McMahon getting to his head. So I think he wanted a change of scenery. So TNA, I mean TNA is pretty good for some of these guys. They get another opportunity to wrestle. That just WWE is not the only show in town. They actually can go somewhere else in North America and wrestle. There's Ring of Honor, but they're not big. They don't have a TV deal like TNA. They got Spike TV. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm loving TNA. I'm enjoying every minute of it. I still watch WWE Raw and SmackDown, but I prefer TNA. It's just getting better and better. It's just like the UFC. You got Ultimate Fighter. You have the UFC's Fight Night and Unleashed. But, man, for me, it's still TNA.
Wow, Mark, you really impressed the fans with your wrestling knowledge. Now, I know the time's running out, and we're going to have to say bye, so I'm going to say goodbye, all my fans, and watch our show, and watch, I got 24-inch pythons. Oh, yeah. And what else? And one for the old-time folks that watched wrestling their whole life, and one guy who's been there forever, and his signature call is